Welcome to DTR Racing. We're in Division 4 today. We're at Azerbaijan. We've just come from Monza. And we're here for another race this week. And whilst we wait for our first driver to come out, we'll just recap where the stand-ins are. I think there could be some big moves tonight with a few reserve drivers in here and a few of our regulars not able to make it. Let's see if we can join someone on track. Go. Okay, so I think we've got Jens out in the lead of this little train. Not a surprise, he loves to go out first. We'll stick on board with him. But just to recap the stand-ins so far whilst we wait for him to get round to the start. We've got ABXMT, who made a fabulous start to the season with 3 wins in a row. He's on 92 points. Ewan has had a really strong last 3 races. He's come third, first and third. He's sitting on 72 points. In third we have Boss Motz, who I don't think is here tonight. He won the last race in Monza, 57 points. Then you've got the 2 Haas drivers, Stuart Foxy with 54 points in fourth. It's Billy, 48 points, he's in fifth. And then we've got Evan and we've got Nicky Lauder in the Aston Martins on 46 and 30 points respectively. Riyadh, who I don't believe is here tonight, he's on 23 points in 8th. We've got Dave in 9th and then Heidi in 10th. But we've got Jens just about to make his way around for his first flying lap. And we'll stay on board with him. We'll take you around the track and then we'll join some of the other drivers. So Jens staying nice and wide into turn 1. Nice and tight into the apex. Got a bit of traffic in front of him. They should get out of the way. We'll just have a little lock up into turn 2. Will cost him a bit of time. Should have his DRS open down here. This is DRS zone 1. So we come into turn 3. Keeps that nice and tight, nice and neat. Swing it out to the left. Ready for the next right-hander. And then we've got a really tight technical section coming out. Into a small straight before we go into a tight right-hander, and we'll get into the castle section where I would not be surprised to see a couple of crashes, but you can't really overtake through there. You see how tight it is, and the sun's coming up just on the other side. It's not getting in the driver's way, luckily. And I think Jens might have pulled out of this lap. He's not using his ERS. I think he might be banking it for another lap. So let's jump on with Ewan, who's second in the stand-ins. So he's just gone through turn 1. Just taps the curb, it sends the car out wide on the exit. But he opens up his DRS down into the straight, coming up to turn 3. Carries a lot more speed through there. Good power on the exit, swing it left into turn 4, and again just a bit of curb which pushes him out wide. And Jens goes provisional pole, and Evan puts a 1:41.1 up on the board, which is a pretty decent time. And why can't I see these times? There we go. So Evan on provisional pole, Wardy in second, Lunatic Kai, and then we saw Jens. I think he'll be going round for another lap now. But Ewan makes his way through the castle section, does it very cleanly. As Relay Luca puts it on pole now with a 140.6. And this is where we left Jens. 2 fast left-handers. As Stuart Foxy puts it on pole, 140.5. And you come into this downhill section. Tight left-hand corner. And you're pretty much full throttle the whole way home now. Into a fast left right-hander. Flat out if you dare, and he does. And then about halfway down this straight, you open up the DRS, this second line here. There he goes. And let's see what Ewan can do. Second in the standings, and he goes 1:41.2, so a little bit more to get from him. We saw him clip a couple of curbs. Jump on board with Aurelia, not seen him for a few weeks. It's good to see him back. As he comes down the final straight. Let's see what damage he can do to this leaderboard. 1:42.8, and that puts him in 12th. Durkee, I believe, is serving a qualifying ban, so I don't think he should be going round here. It doesn't look like he's putting a lap in. Although he has gone quicker than Reliot. May have to check that. I could be wrong, but I think he's serving a quali ban. Got little Mikey getting out of the way. Let's jump on with ABXMT. Leader of the championship so far. He's coming back into the first DRS zone. We'll go back and have a look at the cars a little bit more as he goes round into turn 3. Nice and wide. Takes some curb. Nice on the exit. This section is so tricky. You have to get the corners right. If you brake too late, and he's gone purple in the first sector, so a great start from him. You have to get that section so right every corner. If you outbrake yourself, you end up losing 4/10. If you brake too early, you lose 3/10. So you've got to be perfect. And this section, well, you just got to filter it through the best you can, really. But ABXMT, a couple of turns before he gets onto the home straight. Looks like a pretty good lap so far. Eskelios looks like he's had an incident a little bit earlier. And ABXMT might just benefit from a tow here. He's got a Red Bull in front of him. He's gone purple second sector. I assume someone might have just beaten it. So let's see if he's going to get helped with a tow down to the finish. Whoa, he loses the rear but manages to snap it back. That's going to cost him a few tenths. Is he picking up that tow from the Red Bull? He's doing him a big favour. He peels off into the pits. He does a 1:40.9, which is enough for third for now. He's going to want to improve on that. Foxy's put it on with a 1:40.5 a little bit earlier. But let's join someone who hasn't put a lap in yet. Man Like Donkey. He's coming round into sector 3. This is a tough corner. You have to brake hard, but you have to be careful of touching that curb. But you have to get off the brakes to allow the car to turn. Nice and wide. Gets it close to the wall. Good exit. And that's so important because you carry the speed all the way down the straight. So important to be flat out through that section, which he is. Coming down into the pit straight. What can Man Like Donkey do? Not enough for pole, but it will put him 10th. It's in the top 10. We've got Charlie, who's coming across the line. He does a 1:41.2, and that puts him in 8th. He had a very good year last year in Division 5. He was fighting for the title. I think in the last week of the last round, I don't think he could make it, which dropped him out of the top 3, unfortunately. So he'll be looking this year to improve. Maybe take a title. Who is on a lap? I think ABXMT, we saw him go over the line earlier. We've seen Man Like Donkey, so let's join someone on an out lap. Lunatic Pie, let's jump on with him. In the Ferrari today. Just about to go and start his lap. And there are some yellow flags in front, but I think it might just be a slow moving car. So nice and wide into turn 1. Takes a bit of curb. Got to be careful it doesn't spit you out. He comes round into turn 2. Takes it very nicely. Gets a wide exit, which means he can get on the power early. Lots of speed down this back straight. Again, plenty of speed into that corner. Very good. And a great exit. Just got to be careful of those curves on the inside. It spat him out a bit, but he's done alright, to be fair. He's kept the car balanced. Keep it nice and tight. Just have to put a bit of a correction into the car, but again, you've corrected it well. And as we come up into the castle section, scary part of the track this, and you've got to be careful, and that's what can happen. You need to brake, but you can't be on the brake too heavy, or you just go straight on into the wall. I think you might have pulled out of this lap. Just so much damage to your time. So unfortunately, you look really tidy until that point. Let's jump on with Niki Lauda. He's coming through the castle section now. Oh, and he's taken that brilliantly. Chucked a lot of speed in there and just clipped the wall on the outside. On the power early. This is a good lap from him so far. First of the two left-handers goes through the second into the downhill section. On the power as much as you dare. Down. So third from last corner. He's put in a purple second sector. 7/10 down on his time. So this is looking like a pole lap. As long as he can get these two corners right, he should be home and dry into that provisional pole. Good view there of seeing cars going in both directions there. Just the wall between them. But Niki Lauda down the final straight. This looks a very strong time, and it is a provisional pole. It's a 1:40.3, but Relay Luca right behind him, and then Foxy behind him with a 40.1. They've all benefited off the toe of each other there, but that was a good couple of laps. The track looks like it's starting to settle in now. As we jump on board with Billy, who had a car ploughed into the wall. I think it was Jens. That might have just hampered him. I don't think he's deploying his airs, which makes me think he might have had to pull out of this. Let's see if he comes in. And he needs a good qualifying today. He's sitting fourth in the championship behind his teammate. And people were banking on him to be the winner of the whole championship, but he puts it in fourth. 3/10 off the pace of his teammate, as Wardy gets a 5-second grid penalty. Something with Stuart Foxy has happened down in the in that tight section, sector 2. So I don't know what's happened. Must have just got in the way. But let's see if Ewan can improve on his time. He's 3/10 down, I believe, on his time so far. So a good opening sector. Again, just a little bit of curve spits him out, but he keeps the balance of the car and gets going again. A little tap of the wall. So difficult, this track. And he's invalidated over that corner there. It just took a bit too much of it. You do have to take it, but it just took too much. So Wardy with a 5-place grid penalty. I think he's definitely not on a hot lap. So Durfee's still out on the track. Just going to check whether he did have a qualifying ban. Yeah, I think he does have a qualifying ban. And he's parked up. Oh, has he crashed? Okay, well I was looking down while that happened. We've got Reliot on an out lap. And in fact, let's join Mikey. He's just about to come over the line with a 1:42. Goes into 16th. Where's Bog? ABXMT now takes pole, and look at that. 0.004 quicker than Foxy. He'll be fuming. But he's got a chance to come out and beat it. I think they've got to get out of the pit pretty soon. Comes Bog around the final 2 corners. Takes it flat. He'll be happy with the top 10, I think. Let's see where he can put it. There's a 1:44. Keeps him in 19th. Let's join Reliot. He's just started his lap. I think that was turn 3 he's just gone through. Coming up to turn 4. Takes a perfect amount of curb there. Maybe even could have carried a little bit more speed through. Nice and tight through that right and left-hander, or left and right-hander. Coming up to the castle section. Tidy. Now you've got to thread the car through, and he does. Kisses the curb on the exit, and again, now the foot down. So we enter into the downhill section. Takes that nicely, carries enough speed through there. Third turning from the end. Got to get a nice exit, he does. And now it's about filtering it left and right. Flat out if you can. And he crashed here last year. Took me out the race. He'll remember that also well. But he keeps it clean. He's coming up to the line. Where's it going to put him? Careful of the wall, boy. 142.0 puts him 11th. So he's improved. Cass, who I believe is a reserve driver in this league. He had a really good race in Austria. I think he won his division. So see what impressions he can make here. We've got the front 6, 7, or 6 because ABX is out. Going on their out lap. We'll join Billy in a second and see if he can take pole. He got hampered by ABX, I think, into this corner here. Cass carried nice speed through there, clips the apex. Nicely on the power, gets a bit of wheel spin off the curb. Threads it through the final 2 corners and it's straight all the way home now. Looking like a pretty good time. Don't know if it's quite enough for pole. It's going to be close. 140.6, that puts him 6th. So Billy, it's now or never. Coming up to turn 3. He's got his teammate behind him trying to pick up a toe. But he's going to be just thinking about himself here. Keep it tidy. Oh, it just clips the wall. Don't know if he took a bit of curb on the entry there, which kicked him out. I think Billy's just upgraded to a PS5. He said the controller's a bit big for his tiny hands. But he seems to be coping so far today. Just don't ask him what happened in Zandvoort. Spin machine. But he's coming in sector 3 and he's hit the wall. Oh no. And that, oh, and he's just run a bit wide there. It's going to hamper him. I think we're going to join Stuart and see if he can get it on pole. You can see him throwing it around that last corner. Will his teammate give him his? Nicky Lauda puts it on pole. 139.9. First man into the 39s. Is Billy going to help his teammate out and give him a tow? I think he has slowed down a bit for him. He has. So can the Fox, the original Fox, take pole from Nicky Lauda? It's looking like a quick time. He's not quite going to make it. He stays in 3rd. Let's see if Relay can do anything about it. He's slightly up in his time. He's invalidated. Who else have we got? Cassie's coming into the pits. Kai's in the pits. I think that is your order. Everyone else is on their way back in. So Nicky Lauda, congratulations to you. You put it on pole. Half the job done. Now let's see what you can do in the race. ABX in 2nd place. He's winning the championship. Stuart Foxy, who I believe is in 4th in the championship, is in 3rd. Then we've got the 2 McLarens. Relay Luca and Charlie. They were both teammates in Division 5 last year. Ooh. Nicky getting blocked by his teammate, but I think this is... Not sure if this is the computer taking over now, but I'm sure there'll be no hard feelings. But yeah, the two McLaren boys, they were teammates last year in Division 5. Charlie had a very good run at the championship. I think Relay was just had the odd DNF, which cost him really. He's got a lot of pace.
Hey Hammers.
Yo, how we doing?
Yo, you alright?
Yeah, good, you?
Yeah, not bad. I'm good, sir.
Getting driver interviews halfway through the stream. What's going on?
Yeah, no way.
Get out.
What do you mean, get out?
I can't wait for you to watch the stream back, Billy.
Mate, I have no front wing.
I know. I called it all.
Yeah, I bet you did. Don't worry, man.
Well, you go concentrate away, boy. You got a lot of work to do. Yeah, Billy's always has already questioned this camera view. I can't say I'm a fan of it, but there's not a lot I can do about it. But it's a lovely green post. So I'll finish the championship. We've got Askelios in 11th place. He's on 13 points. We've got Relay Luca in 12th on 12 points. Charlie is in 15th with 6 points. Man Like Donkey is in 18th place with 3 points. And then we've got a few reserve drivers that are in between those guys. So let's see what Nicky Lauda can do from the front. I've not seen him at the front, so it'll be interesting to see how he gets away off the line. He will have plenty of company behind him. ABXMT looking to stretch his lead in the championship. Foxy trying to chase him down. And we've got the two McLarens who play a very good team game. In 4th and 5th, it's Billy in 6th. We've heard from him. Lost his wing. He is allowed to put a new one on, unfortunately. But let's see if he can put it in the wall again. Cass, I think I mentioned earlier, came off of a very strong Austria race. He's in 7th. Eben in 8th. I've got Ewan, who's, I believe, 2nd in the championship, down in 9th. He'll be disappointed with this qualifying, but he can certainly make it up in a race. Ludic Kai in 10th in the Ferrari. Man Like Donkey in the Mercedes in 11th. Relia in 12th in the other Ferrari. Jens put it in the wall early in qualifying. He'll start in 13th. Tom Putty seems to reserve in every division. I think he got a podium actually in Monza. I'm not sure which division it was in, but well done. And we've got Bog in 15th. Askelios in 16th. We saw he went out in qualifying after putting one lap in. Wardier's teammate in 17th, just behind him. Little Mikey got bags of pace. He's in 18th. Just didn't have a great qualifying. And then Derpy Turpy in 19th. I should say we'll probably get in a little bit of trouble for ignoring his qualifying ban, but the stewards will deal with that afterwards. So, what to expect from this race? Tyres will fall off a cliff early. High degradation here. Turn 1 will probably be a mess. It's a top overtaking spot, probably one of the only overtaking spots. There is a DRS zone in Sector 1 into Turn 3. Pretty much everyone's gone on medium tyres apart from Bog and Wardy at the back. I don't think you'll see too many overtakes into Turn 3. You'll be a little bit brave. There's a pothole down there, I believe. that a few people have mentioned whilst they've been practicing. Let's get a good camera angle, and we finally got a good camera angle for the start. And if you can see people disqualified on the left, it just means they've missed their pit box, which means they will start slightly further back than the others. But here we go. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And away they go. And one of the Hassans has got off very well. I think that's Billy. He's very good at starts, but I think Nicky Lauda is going to keep his position into turn 1. He does. Let's just drop it down the pack. It looks pretty clean so far. Stewart is in 4th, but Relay Luca has got ABX already. So a brilliant move from him into turn 2. And it still looks pretty clean back there, but Stewart is all over the back of ABX, who is all over the side of Relay Luca, and he's returned the position, but he's run wide and hit the wall, and it's hampered Relay Luca and Stewart. Stewart is going to be able to gain from that, I think. He's got to run around the outside. It will become the inside, and you can see he's got the move done. So, Relay, Charlie, as you were. Stewart has made up a place. Billy remains in 6th. Cass in 7th. Ewan in 8th. Evan in 9th. Reliot's made up a couple of places, I believe. And it has been pretty clean so far. So, well done to all the drivers. Nicky has made a 2-second gap already. And we have now got a yellow flag. And there's a bit of a mess further back. Can't see where it is. As Mikey picks up the penalty for a severe collision. Did miss it, so... But Billy, he's looking to make a move on Charlie.